Rolando.
And I'm Eddie Z.
And this is Remakes, Reboots, and Revivals.
An original podcast
about unoriginality. Yeah, Nicole not being here is definitely tripping us up. This is our second recording without Nicole. My God. It's like she hates procedurals.
She hates television series.
That's also true. She does hate TV. I thought she would like this one because it's going to be a French show that we're talking about today. So for those of you guys wondering, what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about HPI. Excuse me as I butcher this French pronunciation. Haut Potentiel Intellectuel, or as it's known in English here, high intellectual potential. It is a French TV show. It is a police procedural, and this is part one of a two-part series in which we will be talking about the original and its remake, High Potential, an ABC show that we will be covering next week. So, Eddie, were you aware that High Potential from ABC was a remake?
Yes.
You were aware?
Yes.
How did you know?
Because when I first saw the first episode, it said it at the credits that this was based on the remake, based on a French television show called. That's why I brought it to you guys' attention.
Oh, so you were the one who brought it to our attention. Yeah. So HPI focuses around Morgane Alvaro. She's 38 years old with 3 children from 2 ex-husbands, and she has a problem with authority, right? She's not able to keep down a job, but she is able to. So currently she's working at like a police station as a cleaning lady, and she's able to use her intuition and her natural high intellect to help police solve crimes. And in exchange for solving crimes, she's getting the police to investigate the disappearance of her first husband. And that is the premise of the show. And it stars Audrey Fleuret as Morgane Alvaro. And yeah, this just follows. It's a French police procedural. Which I wasn't aware was a thing. I thought police procedurals were very, very American. I don't know. Am I wrong in thinking that, Eddie? Did you also think that like police procedurals were just an American thing?
No, I've seen like other shows, British shows, that have the same kind of like procedural feel.
Interesting. I guess we have technically kind of covered like a similar police procedural before that was like not from America, but it was a comedy. It was Murderville. I don't know if you remember that show. Yeah, that was like a comedy version of this show. So, but what are your thoughts? So we saw the first 2 episodes. We're not going to be talking about High Potential because that's for next week's episode. We're going to be talking about HPI. So what are your thoughts of HPI, right? Because we saw these in the reverse, right? We saw you especially because you were kind of watching High Potential.
Yeah, I finished the season.
Oh, the season's over?
Yeah, season's over. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they wrapped up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching it here and there. I usually watch it like when you're watching it. I'll sit down and watch it because and we'll talk about this next week. I'm so happy that the actress from Always Sunny has found success in a TV show, right? Like I feel like she had the most range out of the cast, so it's so nice to see her actually doing something. But specifically talking about the French version, watching these in reverse order, I mean, what was your takeaway? Did you enjoy the show?
Well, because it was like beat to beat from what I saw from the American version. So I, kind of went with it. It wasn't anything new in the sense of I know how it was going to turn out.
Right.
So what I don't, and it's just me, but it's like there's no color in this show.
Oh my God, I agree with you. I think
like
it's so dull. It's like the color palette is very dull.
It's so it's dull, and then there's no diversity that I can see within this show. So even that.
Well, I don't know. Isn't the main detective like her partner? I think he seems like I thought Middle Eastern or something, or like some sort of like not white. maybe Eastern European. Is that diversity? No, I guess not. But go on.
Yeah, so I just felt like there was the color palette. I kind of like struggled with how dull it looks, and especially her, because this particular character, she has this very eccentric fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of patterns, a lot of like patterns, colors that usually clash together.
Yeah, especially the patterns that clash together.
Yeah.
I mean, they dressed her up to look like a old, washed-up prostitute, right? And that was even a source of conflict in the first episode, right? When a
Mm-hmm.
cop literally called her this washed-up hoe, is I think
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
called her,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Good lord,
Yeah.
you French." Don't mince your words. What I did appreciate, they curse in the show. They don't do that, obviously, in the ABC version.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That makes it a little grittier for me.
Yeah, it's definitely this is this portrayal of this character is a tad more edgy,
Mm-hmm.
and very how do you say, very raw in her
Mm-hmm.
approach. And there's a and well, it's too because I saw this dubbed, so
Okay.
the nuances, I may have missed the nuances if I was to see in the original language.
Yes. So
But there's a lot of like fuck you, and then there's like, oh honey, how's it going? Talk to me. Well, you being such a like it's
yeah. I know what you mean. I also saw the first two episodes in it dubbed, and then I tried to watch one of the later episodes in the French, and I just sorry guys, like this is why I don't do foreign films really, because I like to watch like the scenes happen, not necessarily like focus on reading and then like missing key details, especially for police procedurals that are mysteries, right? That are clouded in mysteries. You gotta like you have to catch all the clues, like she's catching them at the same time. So I think it's like an important element. So that is why I watch it in the dub. Yes, I'm just a uncultured American audience member. What can I say? That's what Eddie and I are, and that's why you're listening to us, because you're probably just like us, right? Stars, they're just like us. So, I have thoughts also on the show. I agree with you on the color palette. I think it is like everything just seems so flat and desaturated, which was a little bit annoying, especially considering how they had the chance of really heightening, I feel, Morgane's wardrobe, right? Like, you know, even in the muted patterns, like she still stood out, but it was just like you could have, I don't know, I feel like they could have amped it up a little bit more. But I think for me, one of the bigger letdowns was maybe her relationship with her first daughter. It just didn't seem in the first two episodes that we saw, it just did not seem like necessarily the most loving episode. The daughter was a little bit of a cold young person. I don't know. Do you agree, disagree?
I think I think they're just trying to play it off of like someone in their early teenage years
Mm-hmm.
dealing with identity,
Mm-hmm.
and where they fit, because one of the conflicts that comes up very quickly is, why am I not like you? Because her little brother seems
Mm-hmm.
to have his mom's intelligence.
Yes.
He seems to process the world very similar. So you see the mom kind of be very gentle and nurturing on that, because
Mm-hmm.
she sees herself. She knows what the challenges he's gonna face.
Mm-hmm.
Because of being so smart, and because of the way he's gonna process the world, and because one of the things that she struggles with is, um, that there's she has to solve the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
She has to figure out the mystery, because it'll just keep her up at night. Her brain will just constantly keep on running
Mm-hmm.
to like figure the problem. So she's like very sensitive to her son, and this is something that the older daughter picks up, and she sees like, I'm different, like I'm not like you guys,
Right.
and because of that, the question is, do you love me just as much?
Mm.
So there's
Which,
that.
well, I mean, obviously, and which she does. I will say,
Well, she does,
uh,
and definitely something they try to address. But I'm excuse me. I just feel like this is where the daughter's coming from, and I feel like that's from the episodes that I've seen. I feel like that's kind of well done.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's young person and identity, and one of the things that will later come up is how she's like her father, who is not in the picture, who disappeared. I think for this one, for the French version, the father disappears before she's born.
Yes, she was pregnant when
Yeah.
he disappeared.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So the daughter thinks that
He ran off
he abandoned them
because they were young.
Yeah, and the mother has tried to be like, no, he didn't.
Right.
He's not that type of person. He did not abandon us.
Yeah.
So
I like the episode in episode 2 when you see the footage of him excited of having the daughter, right? Like, and again, this is one of the moments when I just felt the daughter was just kind of just so hard on her mom for no reason. I felt it kind of came out of nowhere. They were kind of building this character to be a little bit too tough on mom, in my opinion. But let me. I want to turn this back a little bit back to the performance from Audrey Fleuret. She plays Morgan or Morgan. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but Morgan maybe. But I will say, even though I was watching obviously the dubbed version, she has such an expressive face, and I love her hair. That fiery red hair is the only eye-catching thing in the show. Like, her hair is always so distinctly red, and I also do think she just has like this wonderful. She's very charming on camera, right? Like, she's very. You could tell she's charismatic. You can tell she's, I guess, as the Europeans say, cheeky, right? You could tell she has that cheeky bone in her, and I really appreciate it. I like the way she kind of carries herself. For example, walking in the murder scene with like her baby in hand, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of High Potential, right? So we'll talk about it next time. But I understand the appeal of this show, right? This show gives us a character who is an underdog, but she has like this great intelligence, this great perception, and you root for her, right? You want her to succeed, you want her to solve all these crimes, and she has like this curmudgeony cop who is her partner, who wants nothing to do with her, but slowly and surely she's winning him over, and I love that. It's such a simple but effective story, in my opinion. Like, what an effective trope.
It is interesting you bring that up, because that is, when I was watching this, I'm like, it was a chore for me. I'm like, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the supportive cast. But she quickly won me over. The way she portrays his character, even though I found her very gruff and rough at certain points, and that's probably also, there's a how it's dubbed too, and but I was like, oh, I like her. I like she's the kind of person that you would want on your corner. There's there's something that she's like, she's gonna go for bad for people, and she's gonna do it her own unique way. So I definitely got that cool vibe from her, and I was like, okay, yeah, definitely. This is what I see from the American version too. So I'm like, they both chose actresses that really give this character a nice spark, for this role.
Yeah. So this show started airing in France in 2021. It's on its 4th season currently. If you're trying to catch it here in America, you can catch it on Hulu. Hulu and Disney Plus, they have the distribution rights here in America, so you are able to catch it. They're the ones who are also airing High Potential. And here's a interesting fact: this show is really popular in France. It has been seen by 280 million people in 105 countries. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I know, because it's such a simple premise.
It is.
It's such a simple premise, but it is really, I lost the word.
Impressive?
No. Oh my god. I'm not gonna be able to do this until I say this word.
Oh no.
executed.
Okay.
It is executed in a very fun, uh, solve the mystery kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yes.
love, even if we know, like, yeah, this is not like Poker Face where you kind of know everything ahead
Mm-hmm.
of time. So
This one
things,
you're.
yeah, this just kind of solving. But I love when they bring in the facts, like these
Mm-hmm.
random facts,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yes, you're talking about like her Slumdog Millionaire moments,
yes, yes.
like
Where she
where yeah,
she
like
knows like how the church is positioned. She knows where the wind blows at a certain
yeah.
time of year. So she's able to look at things and pick up the slight, the thing that no one else sees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for example, in the second episode, it's the way something is like stitched together. She's able to deduce that it's like probably a Malaysian family that sewed it. So she's able to okay, so we gotta look up this Malaysian look up Malaysian owned dry cleaners. And then
Yes,
that's how she's able to
yes,
kind of
yes,
pinpoint
yes.
where like this person may live. And I was just like, this is and it's so clever, right? Because and I do love they do the flashbacks. They do like cutaways where
Yeah,
where we see what she's doing, and I think it's so fun
yeah.
because they become so quirky. What I thought was weird in the second episode, they did have like an homage to I don't know if you caught this CSI Miami or CSI, like the yeah, as they're like kind of going into like taking off their glasses and all that stuff. Did you catch that? It was
No.
in episode 2. It was
Okay.
like it felt so random. It felt so out of place. But I don't know. It worked. Like there is. I understand the appeal of this show, and I understand why it's so ripe for American consumption and an American remake because again, it's a very very simple premise, and on top of that, I don't know. I feel like it kind of gives us hope that we can be like her, that we can like maybe we're so perceptive that we can like solve these crimes, right?
Not you, baby.
No, not me. No, I I am very famous for being one of the least perceptive people in our friend group. A murder can happen in front of my very eyes, and I will miss key details, and I would be
Hmm.
just absolutely a hindrance to an investigation to the
Yeah,
point where I might even become a suspect because of how
yeah,
much of a hindrance I
yeah.
am. You know what I mean? I'd also be terrible in the traders. I feel like because I am so not naturally perceptive. I'm perceptive watching the show, but I feel like if I were in that game, I'd be like everybody else, just voting with the crowd. you know? Uh, yeah, that's just so funny. I don't know. Do you relate to her or do you not? What do you?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna bullshit and say like I like this high intelligence. No,
Mm,
I do. What I do like about this, what I'm very attracted about this show, is I love this whole idea of the answer is in the details.
mm-hmm,
In the smallest thing. Um, it's what what in this image or picture is not uh doesn't belong there, or it's not right. you
mm-hmm.
know so I love that. I love the idea of being super perceptive and picking up things that other people don't notice. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
she this show very much captures my imagination in that sense.
Yeah, I love a good show that guy goes like international. Like, do you remember Betty La Fea and
Yeah.
how that we had the American version, Ugly Betty?
Hmm.
That is like one of those shows that kind of transcends cultures, and again, very simple premise, right? It's just unconventionally attractive young woman. She's supposed to be ugly, but just basically just an overweight girl working in like the fashion industry. That is the premise of the show, and it
Hmm.
cross cultures here in America, and it became a popular show here in America. This one, same thing, right? It's like an easy premise, just someone who it has like a shitty, not I guess it's not someone who's just rough around the edges, who has like this high intelligence and is now solving crimes for the police. And on top of that, they add this layer of like there's a bigger mystery lurking where what happened to her husband. But overall, every week is like a new case, and we just move on from case of the week basically. Uh, Interestingly, so has this one has had the American crossover. There's been some other crossovers. It's been a Slovakian show, a Czech show, and a Greek show, and there's also, as of February 2024, so as of last month, there was a Hungarian version of this show. So this show is really kind of just, going all over the place, all over Europe specifically.
I think we're attracted to this concept of like a police officer or detective working with someone super intelligent that's not necessarily
a believer of the law. Well, not someone who is like a lawman.
Yeah, not necessarily cop.
Right. Yeah, like I think that's what's more important about her. She is someone who has, we can say this, right? She's very clearly been probably on the wrong side of the law at times.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she's a criminal, but I'm saying she's definitely got into some bar brawls and like had gotten
I mean, come on. She literally had no problem in grabbing that cop's balls and squeezing them until he screamed. Literally there was no hesitation on that part. And that seemed to be the
catalyst.
That seems to be the issue in her second marriage, where her ex-husband was like, see, this is the problem. Every time I'm with you, it's trouble. Right. There's always trouble, So
yeah, but she's the kind of charming trouble that you would still go, because I could see myself like having a friend. I may have a friend like her who gets herself into trouble, and I'm still friends with her for a reason, right? You love the drama sometimes. Not you, babe. No. I know you don't. So it's just, that is all me.
I'm looking forward to talking to the American remake about it.
Yeah, me too. It's always interesting, right? Like, I think it's when American shows have like an origins from somewhere else, and I don't know, it just makes you realize, like, that like other countries are producing good content too.
Oh yeah. No, it's also, yeah. I totally get what you mean by that.
I hope the audience does that.
I know.
I'm not xenophobic, but I consume.
Oh my god, you sounded
stuff.
Yeah, but
I know, right?
No, but it is about like getting the opportunity to be kind of exposed to something like that, and appreciating it too, because it's coming from its own. It's coming from its own culture, using its own symbols and its own language. So it's being open and appreciated to that. Especially when something is not English,
right?
When it's not English, right, or was not originally done in English. So so you have to like either like read subtitles or dub it. But there's good stuff out there. I mean, we said this before. We're living in the golden age of television.
Actually, I think we're in peak TV is what we're in right now.
Yeah, so
that's what it's known as.
So there are a lot of things out there, content out there that everyone can enjoy.
But yeah. Well, have you guys seen HPI or HIP as it's known here in the States? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. Are you a fan of police procedurals? This is the second type of procedural that we've covered in as many weeks. So let us know if you like this kind of content in the comments. You can also shoot us an email, remakes, reboots, revivals @gmail.com, and hit us up on social media. We love to respond to your comments or your DMs. It's either going to be me, Nicole. I don't think, Eddie, you're on the socials, but it doesn't matter. Just drop in and say hi. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're open to suggestions. And I think that's it. I wish I had a clever way of ending this episode, but I do not. So, Eddie, I'll let you finish off.
Until next time,
stay unoriginal.